You played Bruce Springsteen last week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you said he had got a load of trouble on his hands when he had a hanky in his back pocket.
Did I say that on air or?
Well, we were just saying that famously on the cover of the Born to Run, Born in the USA album, it's just him, isn't it, with just his backside basically with a red handkerchief.
I wasn't looking.
Well,
I just.
I did it for research purposes for this amazing link. Yeah, he had a red handkerchief, I think, in his right hand pocket, and apparently that signifies homosexuality. Apparently, I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was which way you take. I don't know. These myths, aren't they?
Right, yeah, well, exactly. I don't even know if this is.
No, well, I read up about it.
Okay.
Right.
Just research.
And it's all sort of, you've got all different coloured hankies.
Are they?
Right? Yeah. Right, and it depends what pocket you put it in as well. So you've got like the different colours, different pockets.
Yeah.
And
sorry, how many variations are there? Different pockets is what?
Well, you've got like your back pocket, your right back pocket.
But what do they mean?
Pocket. What do you mean?
Well, what do they signify? You can't just tell us they signify something. What do they signify?
Well, some stuff that we don't really want to talk about, to be honest.
What?
Sort of stuff that gays are into.
Right. What do you mean?
Barbara Streisand records.
Yeah, yeah. Eurovision.
No, like a couple of things that were there that I know we can mention. They said something about.
I love that. What he thinks he can't mention.
Yeah,
I love it. Decency. What is this? 1956.
No. But I mean, it isn't just having it away.
Having it away. I love him.
No,
having it away.
You get up to some weird stuff.
I love the fact he didn't want to offend, but he's offended a lot more people by saying they get up to some weird stuff. Right.
In your opinion?
Yeah. What do you mean? No, but don't. If there is something that I don't know about that it's like you can't say on the radio.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
But what do you mean weird stuff?
Well, one of them, right? If you've got a red hanky, right?
Yeah.
In your right pocket.
Like Bruce.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Bruce had. Yeah.
Right. Well, apparently then Bruce is an armpit freak.
An armpit freak?
Yeah.
No,
really?
No.
But that's very specific.
Carl.
Seriously.
Well, what? Right, okay. What else is there then?
Sorry, is there some kind of homosexual body that sat down and came up with this at some point? Well, you said this is getting crazy. You've got like a blue handkerchief in your top breast pocket. I don't know what that means. You need to sit down. There's some kind of summit. Figure out what it means.
Yeah.
It's just that you're not free from it either. So if you were to go in like a gay bar.
Yeah.
Which you might do if you're straight anyway, because they're good places, I think. Right. You can't actually go in there if you've got a cold, because every coloured hanky represents something.
Right.
So if I was to go in, had a bit of a sniffle, I could get into all sorts of trouble.
What, pull out a Marks and Spencer's white linen hanky? That means you like to be tied up and whipped.
Yeah. There was another one. Armpit freak we've covered.
Armpit freak is done.
We've covered.
An armpit freak. I don't really know what that means.
So, right, okay, yeah.
But there was just one other thing, like a blue and white one, is if you're into sailors.
To sailors?
Yeah, if you have a little blue and white hanky, that's in your left pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
Blue and white equals sailor.
So I wanted to ask you something. But again, we've got to be careful here. You know when you wouldn't leave the building that was on fire because you were standing proud.
Hang on, we need this. Some people now don't know what you're talking about. Carl, you're on holiday.
Yeah.
On holiday in Tenerife, right?
Yeah.
You'd had a moment of intimacy with your girlfriend.
Yeah. A knock on the door. You had to stop and get up. And you peeked around the door. It was a fireman saying, "Get out!" But you didn't want to leave because you had a. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little. Yeah. But what I don't understand is you maintained that while looking at a Spanish man dressed as a fireman.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that the fact? You maintained. I'm sorry to say you maintained arousal whilst looking at a gentleman dressed as a fireman. No. Is that these are the facts and they are undisputed? What did you maintain?
I'm not a machine though. Do you know what I mean? I can't turn it on, turn it off. Right?
But you're talking. I just thought talking to a fireman, you'd have probably lost it. I don't know, but you didn't.
No, but the other thing was, I mean, I was talking to Suzanne about it again, right?
Yeah.
She said, what are you talking about that for? Right? I said, oh, it just cropped up, right?
Yeah.
And the dilemma was, you see, I wanted to try and make sure that it was a proper fire, because that was the last condom we had, right? So it would have ruined the night. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to like. It was like, well, what's going on? Is it? Do we need to get out?
Yeah.
Is it a proper fire?
Yeah. And you and talking to this man in uniform, was he? What did he look like? Was he good looking?
Did he look like Ricky Martin? Say?
Was he good looking? Was he good looking in his uniform?
I can't remember. Can't remember.
Did he have a moustache?
Better play a record, didn't we? Is this bringing it back?
What?
You look uncomfortable. What?
Did you just switch this on with your hands?
I'd want to go. I don't want to know about it. That's why I don't go to the doctors or anything.
That's a good,
Brilliant
good approach.
And he do you know, remember him saying he's going to die of cancer because he doesn't check his balls. He doesn't like the feel.
Of course, of course.
What do they feel like, your balls?
Like a wet chamois leather.
With 2 marbles, 2 kumquats in a wet chamois leather.
No, but I just.
Why are they wet? Sweaty.
No, they're not. I'm just saying smooth.
Are they smooth?
Yeah, because a chamois leather's smoother when it's.
Do you shave them?
No, I don't.
In case a fireman pops round, you want to look your best. It looks like your head. The fireman pops round, there you are, and he goes, "Oh, nice, smooth."
So you never go to the doctors? What even?
I don't like it.
But if you found some buboes under your arm or something,
I'd wait for a bit, and I'd say to Suzanne, "What do you think of this?"
just see if it develops into plague.
Well, yeah, because don't you?
Old bandages round your head,
Yeah.
and a bell.
Yeah.
Suzanne, wait out, can you get me a bell?
Exactly.
Brilliant.
I don't.
There was this kid at our school we took the piss out of for basically the rest of his time there, because when he was about 11, someone said, "How would you want to die?" Right, we do that thing, drown in fire or that. He said, "I want to die of old age in my mother's arms."
How old was he?
Like 11.
Loser.
Now, are you familiar with this thing that they can do if you're dead? Right? No, not if you're dead. It's like if you're ill and you know you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know what this is anymore.
Extraordinary.
Have a rest.
Extraordinary.
Himalayas. Himalaya. What?
Listen, this is an interesting fact. Come on. If you're ill but you know you're going to die,
Yeah, you can have this thing done in Detroit where you get put in a fridge,
right?
and if they work out, what's wrong with you in 20 years' time, they go, right, that fella is in the fridge. He had that. We can sort it. Let's get him out, and they sort you out.
Yeah. Is this the first time you've come across this idea?
Yeah, I read it the other day. I didn't know
You've
about
never
it.
heard of this before?
It's called
It's called
cryogenically
cryogenics.
preserved.
It's good, isn't it?
They put you at sort of like sub-zero temperatures, so stop all cellular activity.
So do you stop aging at that point?
Yeah, it's suspended animation.
So, well, what's the law on it, right? Because say if I had something, right,
Yeah,
and I said, "Oh, put me in a fridge," and when you've got the cure and that, wheel me out, sort me out. Say if they did that,
yeah,
and it was like 40 years,
yeah.
and in 40 years' time they get a cure for me.
Yeah.
Would I have to stay with Suzanne? Because she'd be 70.
Do you mean what are the rules? Should you be allowed to date a younger woman?
Well, it's not fair, is it?
On
It's
her.
like good
No,
news,
no.
we've sorted you out, but
I don't think she'd mind. I reckon she'd have the best 40 years of her life.
Yeah. And plus, they're never going to find a cure for what ails you.
That is genius. That is brilliant. You come out, you're cured, and you go, "Oh no."
I love the fact that's what he'd be lying there. If you could think while he was in that state, you'd be thinking, "Oh God."
She's losing her looks.
Yeah.
Just, oh dear.
But everything else as well, like my job wouldn't be here.
No.
No. Although the figures would have gone up a little bit.
Flat's probably gone or knocked down or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Most of my family would be dead.
Yep.
So what's the point? What? How do you know about it? Who's done it?
Well, famously Walt Disney, apparently. I mean, Walt Disney actually did die, but had his body preserved so that should they one day be able to bring back people from the dead,
They need Walt Disney.
they'd think, hang on, who do we have?
But with him, nothing is going to change because when he comes out, Mickey Mouse will still look the same.
Sure.
And plug and all that.
Play record! I don't know where your mind is! Play record! It's brilliant, you just say words! Have a rest! Now, when we were talking to Carl in the week, the thing we were talking to Carl is that you come up with something that's sort of like, quite innocent, and he goes, well, once, right? And you realise that it's comedy dynamite. He doesn't know it, but we want to go save it. And he let out, you were filling in a form, weren't you? It was all like your girlfriend thinking you're a div. And it's happened before, isn't it? Because she came home and you'd filled out a form to get a job once, hadn't you?
Yeah.
What was that for?
Granada Telly.
And on it...
Well, let Carl explain.
Yeah.
You see, this is what annoys me with job applications, because rather than just saying, do you want the job and what can you bring to this business?
Yeah. Do you want the job is a good one.
Because the thing is...
That's sort of the one for the boys.
No, listen, right?
Because if they say no, I don't think they want the job.
Yeah, but listen.
Go on.
I mean, I presume with what you do, you have to take people on and stuff.
What, in a fight, you mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's more important that you're willing to graft and put the hours in.
Sure.
Than say that, you know, you did well at school.
Yes.
Sure.
Because if I wanted to, I could have done well at school.
Of course.
I just didn't want to.
Yeah.
So where's this going? So you had the application form.
So when it came to the qualifications bit and that, I couldn't fill them in because I didn't have any qualifications. And it was also asking about your languages. And I put down English quite good.
English quite good. Ha ha ha.
And his girlfriend came home and seen the form that he'd sent off, and this was a copy of it.
Yeah.
And so she went, oh, you know what I mean? So that's what started, you know, the disappointment.
So they're going to get that and think that you're not English.
I don't think I've got it. It was ages ago.
Right.
How long ago was it?
Oh, well, it was when I was still in Manchester, so 5 years ago.
I don't think you've got it, no. No, I think you'd...
That could be a long list.
I mean, there's probably a lot of admin problems in that organisation, but they probably...
But what I meant by it is that you know, I can speak English, but I don't know all these long words that people use all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, can I just tell this quickly? In the week, I'm talking to you now, the listener. Usually I don't.
Yeah.
Carl said, about embarrassing him on air and that, and he's worried about his education, and he was worried about not knowing long words. Like, we come up with any long words. And he said, no, I was scared, you were going to ask me something about, someone, and he's Eastern European leader. His surname is Milosevic. And Carl said, so I learnt it this week, and learnt it so you can't catch me out in case you start. I said, what? And he said, he thought about it, and he went, Flobodan Milosevic.
Got the surname right, though, didn't I?
So what's his name? Right? What's his name?
That's how Bill and Ben would address this leader.
How would they have said it?
Flobodan Milosevic.
What's his name?
Slobodan
Yeah.
Milosevic.
Yeah.
Well done. Anyway, Carl, look, you almost let it slip then as you were talking about your filling out that application form. There's some big news that everyone needs to know, which we were stunned by in the week, although the more we sort of talk to you, the more it starts to fall into place.
Yeah.
But Carl, what's the story?
That I haven't got me exam results from the GCSEs.
He never turned up to get his exam
I
results.
was working.
And so, how many did you take in the end? Because you weren't even sure about that, were you? You think you took maths and English, don't you?
Yeah.
And you think you've handed in the artwork for art, don't
Now,
you?
art was continual assessment, wasn't it? Coursework. And what was it that you made?
I made a man sort of putting his arms into a car.
You made a model of a man putting his arms into a car.
What was this?
So
Sort of
that
like-
one's passed.
Was
We
that
can
this,
take that
this
as
is a
read.
homage to break-ins in Manchester? Was this? Was this? Oh look, he does what he sees.
Yeah.
So
So you've
what's
got
it-
that. That's safe. You definitely got that one.
So you've taken art, you've taken English and maths, you think? So this is what we're going to do, listeners. We're going to try and find out his exam results for him and tell him next week.
Live on air.
We're going to call his school, we're going to try and track him down, and we are going to have a little envelope, and we are going to give Carl, at the age of 29, his O-level results. GCSEs, yeah.
Now, Carl, so you took maths.
Yeah.
You think you took English. Do you remember turning up to do those? Do you remember sitting in the room filling in the forms?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you feel you did?
I don't think I did well.
You don't think you did well? Did you revise?
No.
Why didn't you revise?
Because I don't really believe in it.
Okay.
Well, it's just that if you don't know it, then you don't know it. You shouldn't have to start looking at a book. If I went to like the hospital
Yeah.
and the doctor said, "Oh, you need your appendix out," but hang on a minute, I've just got to read up on it.
Yeah.
That isn't good enough.
Okay.
He should know, and that's the way I feel about it.
To be fair though,
He did do the revision beforehand.
yeah, they don't usually pass on, like, maybe, like, when they're in practice.
Yeah,
7 years
information
down
they
the
took in
line.
by osmosis.
Yeah, yeah, and bloke comes in and goes, can I just see what you did with that? And I goes, you've passed.
Yeah.
Phew, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job I watched Casualty.
I I just like the way, you know, the things that interest me, I remember. Things
Okay.
like snakes not having ears and stuff.
Yes.
I didn't have to read about that.
No, you just learnt that, yeah.
You saw it on the telly, didn't you? You saw it on that Ian Wright programme.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is what Carl said to me. He said, it's actually, I called Carl up in the week, and Reese was with him. You know, Reese used to be on XFM, and he took the phone, and he went, Carl's worried, I've seen that programme. He said, snakes don't have ears, right? He said, so you can creep up on them and pick them up. And he said, Carl's worried. He said, how do you ever put them down again? Because then they know you're there.
I woke up the other night quite late,
Worried about that.
and I said to my girlfriend, I said, how do you put a snake down? And she said, what are you talking about? I said, that Ian Wright thing, this guy managed to pick up a snake. And do you know that thing where they clamp its head on a jar to get the poison out?
I do now.
Right? They did that, but they didn't show you how they got rid of it, and I thought, it could really get nasty, because it's obviously annoyed that you've had its head pressed in the jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
They hate that.
Now,
Especially as it's in front of their mates.
when you lift it off,
Yeah.
right, you've got hold of it.
Yeah.
If you go to chuck it down, it's going to turn on you.
It's gonna go wild, isn't it?
So, I just wondered.
Well, what you do is you never put it down, Carl.
Yeah, that's why
That's what
that bloke has got about 11 or 12 just carrying him.
Exactly.
Yeah, you never put it down. You sling it. Who cares?
You just throw it, don't you, really far.
That's not that. I don't think you should throw.
But Carl, listen, don't worry. We're not asking you to get involved with snakes. We're just asking you now. You did.
We got a song with a story.
Yeah, doing that.
What is it?
I don't want to sort of tell you what it is yet, because the
Right.
song isn't that great. Do you know what I mean? It's
good.
not a song
Good. Good.
that's like an XFM song, but every time I hear it on, say, like Magic or whatever,
Yeah.
I have an argument.
105.4.
Yeah, I have an argument with Suzanne that, you know, what I think it's about, and she says, don't be stupid, it's not about that, and I'll say, no, it is.
And so we're gonna decide who's right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what song you're talking about, and I don't know what the argument is, but Suzanne's right.
Definitely.
No
Well,
doubt about it.
Yeah, well, I'll listen, but I'm hoping that once people sort of listen to it again with my thoughts, every time
Well,
I hear
this
it,
song sums up what people should think of you. It's don't believe a word. Alright? That's the sort of links I'm capable of.
If that was a bad guess for Sony, then that's. Carl, are we doing your story with a song?
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Well,
Excited about it.
like what was it the other week? We did
Babushka.
Babushka.
Yeah. Pinball Wizard. You said if he's deaf, dumb and blind, he doesn't even know he's playing pinball, which is...
I just said
Fair point.
don't go putting money in it. That's all I'm saying. Let him play pinball, but don't waste 20p or whatever. Good point. This week, right? Do you know I was saying?
It is a good point, actually.
It is a good point.
Again, though, it wasn't a documentary. It was
What?
just... It's not... Didn't really happen.
Yeah. Well, do you know I was saying sometimes I listen to song. I like a song to be obvious what it's saying. Pinball Wizard was a good story.
You need a song to be obvious.
In the ghetto, you know, it's a kid growing up and all
the
that
ghetto,
rough area, gets killed for nicking cars and messing with guns and that. Living in the city, growing up in New York, rough area, how you cope with it and that, right? But they've got to be as simple as that. Otherwise,
Okay.
I'm not that
I've
happy.
got a brand new combine harvester.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
about
give you
like
the
machine.
key.
It's brand new.
Yeah.
It's brand new.
But even though it's new, he's willing to lend it out to other people.
No, but what I mean is, if you start trying to be clever,
Yeah.
the story's lost on you, innit?
Yeah.
not necessarily me or Rick, but yeah, sure.
Go on, we know what you mean. Go on.
On primates, yeah.
Well, this song here, right, it's not an XFM song, and you'll probably hate the song, to be honest.
Go on, what is it?
What's the song?
Yeah.
It's Wonderful Tonight. Right? Eric Clapton.
Okay, it's alright. It's a
bit
sort of
nothing, innit?
bluesy sort of ballad from the late 70s. Yeah, it's alright.
But I'm always arguing with Suzanne, because every time I hear it, I'm getting different pictures in my head
Yeah.
of, like, what's going on, right?
Okay.
And I'm convinced it's about, like, this little crippled fella in a wheelchair, right? And he's knocking about with his wife. And
We
this
don't say cripple anymore, do we, Steve? Do we say
I
cripple?
don't think we've said that since,
70s?
I think this is 70s when we stopped.
alright, just a little fella in a wheelchair then.
Okay.
And the story, it's all sort of, you know, how he's being pushed about by his
Again,
wife.
that's not literally.
By his wife, she's wheeling him about. What do you
He's
mean?
wheeling him about, they go to a party, everyone sort of looks round and looks at him.
What makes you think that he's in a wheelchair? What's the clues? What's the words?
There's loads of little things. There's
Go on.
like, well, like I say, something about his wife walking around with me and all that. Well, of course she is. She's pushing him about.
But whoa, walking around. If someone said, "Oh, she was walking around with me," I'd think they were both walking round.
There's a few.
But that's not. Well, there must be another. There must be a reason why you suddenly thought that fella's in a wheelchair.
Right. My wife's walking around with
Put
me.
on your makeup, and I feel alright.
No, and she's always saying, "Do you feel all right?" And that she's always asking him how he is.
Yeah, but she's
Just listen. Let me play it, right? And try and picture the scene, right?
But now I'm only thinking of a little fella in a wheelchair.
We'll have a listen to it, and you know, just everything that's been said.
Okay.
Understand why I'm thinking what I'm thinking.
No, never.
Is that it?
Yeah, there's no clue.
But the thing is, that's what I'm picturing.
But that doesn't mean it happened. You picture people that are half man, half moth. It doesn't mean it's possible. Do you know what I mean, Carl? What you think is usually not true. Suzanne is totally right. There is no reason. I have never ever thought that Eric Clapton was singing about a little fella in a wheelchair. And the one clue in that, there's two, isn't there? Are you alright? Oh, let me say that, little cripple. Right, and, so I'll give her the car keys. Oh, why's she driving? He ain't got any legs.
Pushing him around and that.
No, pushing him around.
So we'll do one more next week then.
Okay.
I'm just finding more and more things are annoying me.
Really?
Like even, like at that Sony's night, right? You've got a lot of respectable people going to that thing. You know, people who are high up at the BBC and that.
Yeah.
And just the way, you know, it's a posh night. There's people there with dinner jackets on and stuff.
Mm.
And then I went to the toilet for a wee. Old fella in there. I thought he looks like he's been in the the radio game for years. Probably done loads of award-winning Sony stuff.
Yeah.
You know, all the BBC documentaries they do, in-depth stuff. And I thought, I wonder if I'll be like him when I'm older. I wonder if I'm as good as him. Thinking all that, he's having a wee in the next urinal. Farts.
I know. Yeah.
He just farts. Old fella in a dinner jacket, probably hired. And I thought,
But is that like they try to? They think, well, I better do it in here, and it's sort of like a trumpet, and everyone just goes, yeah, that's fine. What's up with that? You know, yeah, I know what you mean. Is it? It's just the arrogance of doing it.
He just did it. It sounded like a lost whale. And he didn't sort of go and try and clinch it. He carried on, and then he went, "Oh, that was a good one."
Really?
Old fella, must have been about 70.
Oh dear.
And
What, better out than in?
Yeah.
but it's not though. I wasn't brought up like that. You see,
Right.
because I did it. I mean, I never really did it that much as a kid,
Sure.
and then I was at my mum and dad's.
You never did it that much as a kid? What, farted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not just like as a joke and that.
We are taping this for next year's Sony Award, aren't we? We're taping this, what we're talking about now, aren't we? To hand in, because this is, go on.
But I was at my mum and dad's, right? And Suzanne was sat on the floor in front of me, and she was like, "Oh, rub my neck, it's hurting." So I thought, oh, and I hate doing that. It really it bores me.
Well,
right?
she's your girlfriend, for goodness
I
sake.
know, Dale Winton's different, you're getting paid for that, go on.
So I thought the only way to shift her is I'll let one go, right? So I did that.
I love that!
It's such a loving relationship.
I love that, that's great!
So
Like
she's-
doing the washing up badly.
Yeah.
She won't ask me again, what have you done? I've smashed the cups up and I've written in excrement across the wall. Well, that's no good, isn't it? Well, I won't do it again
Give me
then.
the marigolds, I'll do it.
I've nailed the cat to the fridge, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Go on.
But yeah, so I did that, and it worked. She sort of got up and said, "Oh," and my dad said, "What you do that for?"
Yeah. What was he thinking?
So I said, "Oh, I hate rubbing a neck. Does me head in." So he says, "I've never trumped in front of your mother for 40 years."
Sorry, where was this? Chigley? Why is this family talking like this? Young Carl, I've never trumped in front of your mother in the 35 years. What? I don't know what...
No, it's just that he said, we've done a lot of things in the family that we're
Hold
not
on,
proud
what
of.
did he say that for? What, he's never trumped in front of your mother?
He just offered that information up.
Well, he just was surprised that I did it. He said, "Where have you got that from?"
Yeah.
Whoa, you're lower intestines, I'd thought. What do you have to imagine there's a class of farting. Oh, we haven't told our kids about farting. He doesn't do it. We haven't told him about it. We don't do it in front of it. You have to learn it, do you?
No, but there's a place. That's what I was always told.
Go on.
There's a place for that.
Cornwall.
So, and my mum, it's the same. She doesn't do it.
Right.
If she goes to the toilet to, do what you got to do, she she makes sure, like, she'll sort of say things like, "Are you going out for a walk?"
Are you going out for a walk?
Does she think? Does she know that you're broadcasting this?
Well, yeah.
She's probably around at the neighbours now, listening.
Yeah.
Any of you going out for a walk?
Yeah, just at the door.
So she waits until everyone's left, or?
She doesn't like the thought that everyone... Do you know, like, cats don't like you staring at them when they're doing it?
I've never stared at a cat while it was doing anything.
Have you ever had a pet cat?
What do you mean? Yeah, go on.
No, it's just that cats, you know, if you get them a little litter tray,
Yeah.
I remember being told, like, now, when it does use it, don't sort of go and look at it. 'Cause it puts it off. I was the same as a kid. I didn't... When I had a
What
nappy...
who comes and looks at you when you're on the bottom?
No, when I was a kid and I was in a nappy, right,
Yeah.
I used to always, like, there was a corner in the kitchen that I'd always go to. And everyone would be
Why do you go
like...
to the toilet?
Because I had a nappy on.
Oh yeah, right. How old were you?
14th birthday?
About 3 or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And I used to always go to this corner, and
Yeah.
everyone said, right, he's going to the corner, don't watch, don't stare at him.
The thing is, I can so imagine you because you've got the same head.
Yeah, you
It's
look like a baby.
It's just the pain in his head. Put in there. Would you put a nappy on for 50 quid?
Now.
Yeah. I'll just sitting, do your work, right?
No, anyway,
Just sit in the
right,
corner.
So I'm not doing that, right?
Come on.
So yeah, my mum's like that, and something else she's good. I mean, people might not know.
At dinner party, oh, it's Mrs. Pilkington just in the corner. Just don't look at her.
Yeah, don't look at Mrs. P.
She's just in the corner of our kitchen. Don't just look at her. What's she doing? She's just doing her business. She's there. There she is squatting. Are you going for a walk?
Sorry, you were saying, Carl.
Another trick I've learnt from her, right? If you're using, say, a friend's toilet or something, and you don't want to leave your mark, just
Go down the toilet and flush it.
use take a box of matches with you.
Yes.
Set fire to the curtains.
the girls calls it his black shirt.
Burn the place down. Have a wonderful crap and just leave when the fire brigade get there. I don't want to lose complete sight of those. I'll maybe ask you a couple of those in the week just to so you keep your mind on it. But Hitler,
Tell us the story.
What have you learned?
Do you want to ask some questions?
No, not really. Just sum it up in a minute. What do you
Can't do it
think?
in a minute.
Well, can I ask some questions then? Where was he born?
Austria.
Tell us about his early life.
Right, he was a young lad. He
Brilliant.
What in his early life? Okay.
Yeah.
what's the name? His mum was his dad's second cousin, which is a bit weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
They had 5 kids.
He's going. Yeah, it's usually first cousin where I come from. Oh, that's unfair, isn't it? There's no need for that.
There
Go
was
on.
there was 5 kids, but only 2 of them, including Hitler, including him and his sister survived. The others died at an early age.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, so they grew up, and the mum died and the dad died and that, and he thought, oh, what am I going to do? Because he didn't do well at school, didn't have many qualifications.
No.
Liked art.
Did he have a GCSE in history?
Liked art, right? And then, so he said, right, I'm going to go to Munich. I missed a bit out, actually. Jewish people were in Austria, he didn't really like them.
Okay.
He thought they got, special treatments and stuff, and just didn't like them. So he went to Munich, and he joined the army.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he was in the army, and he got injured.
Right.
So he went to hospital, and whilst he was in hospital, the World War One ended, and he was like, "Oh God, I want."
I was enjoying that.
Yeah, well, So don't, because you're breaking the concentration.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not even sure I want to join in on this one, just in case.
Okay.
Right. Go on.
Right. So
He was in hospital. World
he's
War
in
ended.
hospital. He gets a bit better. He's never that fit though. He's one of these blokes who was always ill. That was on something like 30 tablets a day or something. Comes out of there, joins some other army.
What?
God, I knew it all this morning.
I can see it running to ground. I just see his face going, I'm not nailing the fact, am I? And joined another army, and he was
Listen, let's try and help you. So,
Here's a good bit. I remember this bit. He thought that war to men, right, was like childbirth is to women. That's how important he thought he was.
All right.
Right? So it's like, you know, you fight for 9 months, and at the end of it, you own something, right?
Yeah.
So, he goes on and all that. He's in Berlin.
Yeah.
And, he's fighting his way through, like, you know, trying to take over countries and that. And he does he do Berlin? Does he?
Sorry, wait a minute. Is he Chancellor yet?
What year is it? 35.
Let's
Where are you?
let's skip the kind of climb to power. Then he's now the dictator of Germany.
Right, he's in charge, yeah. And this is when, you know, he gets his own back on the Jewish people and that, and he's got his own little armies, and he's setting fire to Jewish businesses and all this. And anyway, cut a long story short, he
Please do.
when he came to like fighting Britain,
Yeah.
came a bit sort of unstuck,
Yeah.
right? Started fighting.
Not
back.
so easy, is it, this world domination, Adolf?
Britain was there, France was helping out,
Yeah.
Americans were helping out.
Yeah.
So he thought,
Well,
oh god,
a
so
bit late, but yeah, go on.
he goes into a bunker in Berlin,
Yeah.
and it's all kicking off,
Yeah.
and apparently like Germany sort of surrenders,
Yeah.
says it's all over, forget it, we can't beat you. He was really annoyed with this, and he thought, oh, I can't show my face around here. So
Because it would be embarrassing.
he's with his missus, who nobody knew was his wife,
Right.
Eva, in this bunker.
Yeah.
And so he said, oh, I've had enough of this. He shoots himself.
Yeah.
She poisons herself, and the chauffeur buries them or something, or burns them.
Right.
And in all the time he was in charge, 50 million people died.
So that's 1918 to 1945.
Yeah.
Between
It felt like that.
between Travis and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Next week. That's fantastic.
That's remarkable. I have to say that you sort of lost your grasp somewhere along the line because you started off confidently, but you lost your way.
I've had a really busy week, and last night I was like whizzing through it.
Sure.
And then this morning I woke up, and you know, Suzanne had been away for about 3 days, right?
Yeah.
I hardly spoke to her. She's been busy, I've been busy. First thing to say when I wake up, oh, just ask me some stuff on Hitler.
You are romantic. That's great.
That's how stressful it's getting. But I knew it all this morning. Honestly.
No, but that's fine. The newest quiz in town. This is where Carl inserts himself into a seminal film. Last week, it was the little kid in Sixth Sense. You remember? To great acclaim. The critics loved it. They said a triumph. This week, he's fiddled with The Graduate. This is the scene where, of course, he goes upstairs to the hotel room, and it's on the cards. She's a dead cert, Mrs. Robinson.
Well,
Here you go then. So, are you ready for it? I've brought some condoms from home that Suzanne got for Christmas.
Benjamin,
What?
will you bring me a hanger?
A what?
A hanger.
Tell you what, I've got wood.
What?
Just saying, I've got wood. I've got metal ones as well. What sort do you want?
Either one would be fine.
All right. There you go.
Are you afraid of me?
No. No, I've seen weirder things than you. Have I ever told you about the 2 lads I went to school with who had big heads? Webbed fingers as well, but not related, and weren't mates, but both had the same thing, which was a bit weird. Yeah, I've never found out what was wrong with them.
Can I ask you a personal question?
As long as it's not about my head being round, because Ricky's always going on about that. He's saying I've got a round head.
Well, you can admit that, can't you?
No, it's. I'd say it's a normal sort of shape. It's just round.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, but what do you mean? So is yours. Head should be
It's
round.
nothing to be ashamed of.
I'm not ashamed. It's just a normal shape.
Mm-hmm.
And you can talk. Look at your saggy arse. Anyway, get your knickers on.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to
Oh, that was a joy.
Oh dear. And why didn't you sleep last night?
I haven't slept well since I was about 12. Do you sleep well, Steve?
But wait, you can't let that go! I haven't slept well since I was 12. What do you mean?
Do you know, like, a proper... I used to love going to bed as like a kid.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, oh, am I going to sleep tonight? And I sort of wake up about 4 times.
Right.
Whereas when you're a kid, I remember really loving, like, going to bed. There was one time where I actually laughed myself to sleep because I couldn't believe me luck.
Is something wrong with him? What do you mean you laugh yourself?
Have you ever had it when you're really tired and you get in bed and the pillows feel
Yeah, it's all cold. Yeah.
and it's like, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
And it happened twice. Once when I just went to bed and I was really looking forward to it, and also when I helped my dad out once, like through the night. He worked at this paper company, right? And I helped him out, and I got in at about 4 in the morning with him. Got in bed, and I just was like, I was laughing my head off. I had to put the pillow over my head because I couldn't believe me luck. Like I was like, oh, this is great. This, I'm going to sleep.
I just have to say, life up north is so extraordinary.
No, but you must be the easiest kid in the world to please. No wonder she knew she could just go get a cake. It's sort of like, what was he expecting me to say? He were expecting an extra hour in bed, but we got him cake as well.
Go to bed
love
without
that.
any supper. Brilliant.
Brilliant, yeah. Your own bed. How long was it before you got your... What did you used to do before? Just some straw in the corner?
No, it's just that thing of when you're really tired and...
And do you ever do this with Suzanne now? Do you ever laugh yourself to sleep with her?
No, that's what I mean.
She can't sleep because you're chuckling away.
I don't know what's up with me. I've got a lot going on.
What do you mean you've got a lot going on?
I don't know. I was talking to the security bloke before saying, do you sleep? Have you got much going on in your head and stuff? And I don't know.
No, he wasn't insulted by that, I'm sure. Going up to someone and going, have you got a lot going on in your head? That is brilliant.
It worries me. It's interesting that your lack of sleep coincides with the diaries and the writing of the bread and potato story every day. I don't know if once you had that responsibility.
Why don't you every night go to Hugh Fay's, get some bread and potatoes, you don't have to eat them, then go to bed, and I think you'll be chuckling yourself to sleep in no time.
I said to you though, the reason I did this
Yeah.
was to get that kitchen, right? Now,
Brilliant.
as we speak now, right? Builder's in the flat. He's been annoying me.
Of course he has. Of course he has. What's he been doing?
When he turned up on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Wanders in, and the first thing he says to me is, he said, the pub across the road, is it any good? I said, well, it doesn't matter, does it? You're working on the kitchen.
Think of saying that to a builder. Probably making conversation. Probably meant, do they do a toasted sandwich? Because I got a half-hour lunch break, not an hour, like Karl Pilkington. So I'll probably go and get a nice, cheese and tomato sandwich.
Is that genuinely what you said to him?
Yeah.
The first thing you
Yeah,
said
so
to him?
Suzanne had a go at me saying, why have you said that? He hasn't even started on it yet.
I cannot believe that.
You're unbelievable, Karl. And you say it's us that are rude, crass,
I wasn't being
thoughtless.
rude. I just was letting him know. Do you know what I mean? I know what
He
they're up
knows
to.
what he was there for. He had it down on his little docket. Do the kitchen this week.
Yeah.
He didn't come there and go, what did I come out for? Was it to go to the pub for a week?
Why am I wearing these overalls?
Yeah. Who's the little bald mate twat insulting me? Let me just check. Let me call the head office.
I wasn't having a go though. I mean, they should have finished it yesterday, and they're
Yeah.
there now, right,
Yeah.
on their own. And what annoyed me is they turned up late today.
Hold on, Karl. I've just realised something. They're probably listening to the radio that's, I assume, tuned to XFM, isn't it, in your kitchen?
Yeah, but they don't know it's me, do they? You know what I mean?
No. They'd go, he's got a whiny mank voice as well. So's the bloke who owns this place. And the bloke who owns this place, when I said, what's that pub like across the road, said, well, you won't be bothering that, he's working on this. No, he won't be able to put two and two together, will he? You've suddenly, the penny's dropped, doesn't it? You've suddenly realised, look at his face!
Yeah.
He's suddenly realised they might know it's him!
And they could be listening, and they're going to clean you out, mate.
Oh, if you are the builder, working in, where is it? I won't say the address, but it's,
Central London, isn't it?
yeah.
Go
Yeah.
mental. Have whatever you want.
Opposite
Seriously.
that pub that you
Yeah.
like, that you're,
He'll probably be in there now, so he won't be listening.
oh, insulting,
You know what I mean?
insulting a
That's a
British
further
workman.
He should
So
have been
just
in
go
today.
mental.
He should have been in at 8 this morning,
Just
which annoyed
go
me anyway.
mental.
Why I really don't understand why they've got to start so early, right?
Yeah.
But he said he'll be there for 8. Turned up at 9:30, right? Wanders in, and what annoys me is he could have left all this downstairs. He had a paper under his arm,
Yeah.
one of those crossword books, and a pot noodle. Now, I'm not being funny, but most of them take up quite a bit of time. A crossword book, he's not happy with just the one that's in the paper.
If you're listening, if you are the builder that's listening now, doing Carl's flat, what about pissing in the laundry basket? You've realised now that the builder could well be listening, knowing exactly who you're talking about.
There's a chance of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't think about it, but you're right, you know, was tuned onto that. I think he did flick it on, thinking about it, thinking back. If so, yeah, he's probably listening now.
No, he probably isn't. He probably listens to about half hour. If he's got any sense, he turned it to Heart or Virgin or Magic or something. But, you know, there is a chance.
Good advice to the listeners.
Yeah.
If you've got any
Yeah.
sense, if you finished
Yeah.
your crossword puzzles.
I think, you know, according to our figures, there's a 5% chance of him listening to it.
Yeah.
So, if we want to be accurate. Although
then
he
he's-
isn't a house with it tuned to that, so I think puts him right up to 50%
Yeah.
straight
But
away.
then again, Rick, he's got a job of work, so
Yeah.
why would he be listening to this show?
Well, he's doing a crossword at the moment.
Yeah, well.
You better hope he's not listening.
Well, I mean, they do annoy me. I'm sticking by it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
come
that
on, you
builders-
might as well keep digging. Yeah, go on.
No, I'm just saying they do annoy me, the way they wake you up at 8 and then...
Well, that's when they start work.
Because I told you, I mean...
Oh, we'll leave that one then. Yeah.
No, but it's like the other day when they came in, I always like to test them. Do you know what I mean? When I had some work done on the last flat that was in, right, that was renting, the builders were in sorting the shower out and that. They woke me up about 7:30,
Yeah.
right?
Were you in the shower?
No,
Good thing about cleaning this shower, there's never any hair down the plug hole.
Yeah.
Right. So, I left early to come to work, right?
Sure.
And I thought, I wonder what they're doing. I wonder if they have started. So I walked back to go back in. They'd left the flat and they were sat outside having a Starbucks. And it just annoys me that they couldn't do that first. Do you know what I mean? Have your breakfast first, then come and wake me up. But don't wake me up to then get me out of the flat and then say, right, let's go and have
Well,
breakfast.
they've probably
lads."
got to get in, haven't they? Don't
What
they?
for? What for? They can put all the tools in the little lobby bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just winds me up.
Sure.
Now the thing is, the guy today who's doing the tiling, that's narrowed it down a bit more, right? When I knew he was in there, I went out for a bit, had a cup of tea and a bacon butty,
Yeah.
right, at a cafe, and I went back and I was really quiet, put my key in the door and opened it really quick to see what he'd be doing, and he had actually
Did you-
started work, so fair play to him.
What if he'd just been exfoliating himself naked on the kitchen floor?
Yeah.
I'd say, right, caught you.
Don't
is-
use
this
my
is what I mean.
exfoliate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well,
Go
people-
through the,
people
if you're listening,
annoy me.
go through the wardrobes upstairs.
Go
I
to the
think there's
wardrobe,
good
get some
up there.
stuff, yeah.
they won't get anything. I've put everything in places where they wouldn't think of looking. Jewellery and stuff.
So you're thinking that
Where have you
there's...
put the jewellery? Where have you put
Can't
the
say, I'm not saying.
Go on.
So
No,
you're
no,
thinking
no.
that they're going to thieve from you as well?
Okay, so if you're listening,
don't they have a route, don't
don't think about the obvious places when you're looking for the jewellery.
No. But I do things like... I would do things like, you know, just pop a little bit of urine, maybe in the salt cellar or something.
Yeah.
Just do some...
I'd say what I do is I take the toothbrushes in the bathroom, just pop them in the toilet, flush
Yeah.
it, and then
Yeah.
take them back again, just pop them back in there.
Leave them nothing. Leave them out. When they were coming last week, I brought the biscuits to work. And Suzanne was like, "No,
You
wonder
didn't
you've got no
really?
mates."
You
no,
brought
I
your
did. I brought
biscuits into work.
No, it wasn't a tin. It was just a packet of good quality cookies.
Good quality cookies!
Yeah, you thought I'll be down if they're out
Oh, God.
But
Oh.
that's what Suzanne always says. Don't know, you know, why you like this? Because
Yeah.
you know, it's not as if you've been sort of harmed as a kid or anything.
But I like the fact that you once said to us that you don't need friends. You don't like friends because they're a bit of a pain. Because they call you up and they want to be with you.
Yeah, but mates are a hassle. I woke up today, right, and I think it was might have been on 5 Live or something this morning in the bedroom, right, and they were talking about how it's Nelson Mandela's birthday,
Yeah.
80 odd,
85.
20,000 people turning up at his party. I thought, I'm glad I'm not in. I couldn't be doing with that. 20,000 people.
Think of the carpet afterwards. I mean, a good percentage of them will putting out fag butts on his carpet. After Tommy Walsh and Charlie Dimmock, what's her name, did lovely patio and a water feature. He's gonna come back and he's gonna go, it's ruined.
And what's he doing for his birthday? Karaoke? Chinese meal? Bit of karaoke? I wonder what Nelson Mandela's birthday party is like.
Big cake.
Bit an enormous cake.
Yeah.
The
a
Spice
file in
Girls
it.
jumping out.
Yeah, it's Spice Girls, isn't it? Well, everyone. I don't know.
Yeah.
We are the only 3 people that hasn't met him.
I thought the
Everyone's
file
met-
would have been in the cake.
Yeah, yeah. Just in case, you never know. And if Winnie calls, I'm not here. Have you not invited her? No, of course no, definitely not. Poor Nelson. Happy birthday.
How old
No,
is he?
85.
Oh, well done.
Imagine, oh God.
But
Just
anyway.
imagine if he was in charge. We did put him in charge of the country.
Terrifying.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Let him run the country.
Just for a week.
Or the mayor. What would you do if you were the president or the Lord Mayor of London or the Prime?
Prime Minister Carl.
I
don't
wouldn't do it like he's going to be offered it. It's a hypothetical question, Carl.
No, but Suzanne was, alright, my missus, if you're a new listener.
Your keeper, sure.
Yeah, help her.
She was watching the news, trying to follow some heavy stuff. And I'm like,
The weather? What?
Do you know what I mean? I just was like bored and I was reading about that mouse that had an ear on its back and stuff like that. So she said, will you take notice of this? She'll be, you know what Ricky and Steve are like. They try to teach you stuff and you don't even want to learn. So to try and get
She's
me
got one-
interested in it, she was like saying, what would you do if you're president and stuff?
Yeah.
And I can't be doing with any of it. It's
What did you
hassle.
come up with? You must
would
have.
your slogan be?
What did you come up with? Did you come up with anything?
I had a little, the design of it, right? I said I'd have like red and blue, to sort of, do you know what I mean? Both sort of major sides into one.
Yeah.
taking the best out of
Well,
both.
that's broken the back of it. That's a pretty good manifesto so far. Anything else? What's on the second page?
I had like, KP looks after me,
That would be the badges, would it?
yeah.
That's good. I'm a KP nut.
KP looks
that's-
after me.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's about as far as I went with it.
What would you do? What about policies, transport, crime? Just law and order.
Yeah, what would you do, how would you deal with crime? What would your initial approach be? Would you introduce guns? Should police carry guns?
Nah.
No.
Yeah. Would I have to worry about that?
Okay.
you're
No,
the Prime
good point.
Minister.
Good point.
No, what I'm saying is that, I mean, Tony Blair isn't sorting everything out, is he?
No, but he has a say in most things.
Does he? Well, go on then. What are the problems at the moment that need sorting out?
Well, generally, what's the best way to combat? Would you bolster up the prison system? Would you introduce more community service?
Would you
put more bodies on the beat?
would you go harsher for say I don't know drugs? Would you go harsher or less harsh? There's pros and cons to
Higher
both,
or
isn't
lower?
it? Because of course you can't see to condone it, but some people you don't want to go through the court system and cost taxpayers thousands of pounds of money for someone, I don't know, the difference between smoking a spliff and dealing crack. Do you know what I mean? You have to all these things. Have I lost you?
Yeah, I'd just think about it for a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
You think about it for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably ask Suzanne. Do you know what I mean?
This is amazing.
Get her help on it.
Yeah. Can
And
we
what about the foreign situation? Would you have supported Bush in his war on terrorism? You're aware of this war that we had recently?
Yeah. I mean, if I was new though, couldn't I just say, look, new slate. Do you know what I mean? Let's start again.
Yeah,
Right.
of course you can.
I'm in charge now. Let's see if we can sort this out.
What would you do then?
Then see what happens. Just leave
Brilliant.
it. Just leave it.
Suck it and see.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
This is excellent.
Now
So
this
put-
is not really your jurisdiction. This is not really your area, but I imagine you'd have some powerful friends who might
on,
have a say
go
in
on,
it.
go on.
Yeah. What would you do about single-sex marriages, same-sex marriages?
See,
Would
this
you-
got this Cameron. I thought Cameron had blown it on Big Brother because they said, what do you think about gay fellas getting married? And he went, no, in the Bible it says, a man and a woman. And I thought, oh, he's put off a lot of.
Yeah.
I don't think many Christians tune into Big Brother, but we know the gays love it.
Yeah.
They love Big Brother, don't they? The gays.
Yeah, so interesting. But
So,
what would your take be on that? Same-sex marriages?
And then what? Having a kid?
Well, just let's start off with,
Well, that's all right, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Just let them get on with it. It's
Sure.
not affecting anyone else,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
right? But it starts getting tricky
Right.
when you get a kid.
Okay.
Go on, why?
Well, it's just tricky, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you could be right. I'm not giving any. I mean, we're not. There's no right or wrong
It's
answer.
alright if you were in if you lived in the jungle, right, with no one else,
Yeah.
right, and you just had these two fellas, right,
Yeah.
looking after you, but because you got no one else looking in on that, saying, "Oh, you're a bit weird, aren't you?" Do you know what I mean? But
Right.
as soon as you come
So,
to...
why have they got married? Do you think the gay people turned to a bloke because they couldn't get a woman? If there's two fellas go away and they're in the jungle, they go, we're definitely not going to find a woman here. We might as well bum. That's not how homosexuality starts. People don't.
It makes you wonder.
No, it does make you wonder. Gays don't go, well, I'll tell you what, I haven't seen a woman I fancy yet. I'll try a bit of knob.
No. But what I'm saying is, right, if you're brought up in like a little jungle, right?
Yeah.
You
How are
want
you brought up?
Someone just puts you there.
I don't
Let
know
him
what.
explain.
I don't know what
Can't be
this
bothered,
is.
Steve. I can't be bothered.
Go
running
on,
the
mate. I'm
country.
listening. I'm fascinated.
I can't be bothered running the country. Like, I'm too much trouble for you.
KP takes care of me.
All right, then, fair
yeah,
enough. What
okay.
I'm saying is, right, if you're brought up in a jungle,
Right.
right,
What do you mean brought up?
Just let him finish.
What does he mean
You
brought-
understand
brought
what
up,
he means?
though?
Like Tarzan.
You've got to tell me what you mean by brought up. Wolves, chimps. What?
Right, well, there's a good example of what I'm saying to you.
Right.
Right, what I'm saying is, there's a fella, right, he's brought up in the jungle.
Shut up. Just let him finish. Let him finish.
There's no women about, he doesn't know about women, he doesn't understand what women are,
Right.
right? But another fella walks in the scene,
Yeah.
and he gets pally with him.
What does he talk about?
Then they've both got needs.
This scenario is ridiculous. How has he lived? Or do you know what's his reference
I
points?
can't be bothered with this. Honestly, Saturday should have been, day off and that, not worrying me about problems.
So, that's it. Well, maybe, I'll tell you what. A good idea, Carl. Just beg. Just ask for other things. What do you want? What do you want for Christmas? You must have a big fan base out there willing to make you things. Maybe like a little, I don't know, gloves, pair of gloves. Just like
Little
what you-
woolly hat.
If you want to send a necklace in for Suzanne, that'd be handy.
Oh yeah.
That's what she wants.
Is Suzanne listening today?
No, she's out.
Right, okay, this is the dilemma. Me and Steve, yesterday, were trying to convince Carl that it would be a good idea to buy Suzanne a Christmas present. Okay? Now, why aren't you going to buy her a Christmas present? Explain, Carl, why you don't think you should buy her a Christmas present.
No, well, I've told her I'll get her one, but in the new year. We're going away on holiday and that, so
Yeah.
there's no point taking stuff away.
Yeah.
Going to Lanzarote next week.
Just get her something in the sales after Christmas, for the, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And me and Steve were trying to explain to Carl that she would love it if you bought her something on Christmas Day.
Yeah, but she knows now.
But,
Knows
yeah.
what?
I've told her. So
No,
she's
well, I'm
getting
going to
out.
tell you, do you know, right, this, dear listener, this was Carl's worry. I said, I bet she's got you something. And Carl was worried in case he got her something and she hadn't got him something.
Yeah. He'd be livid.
He didn't want to be down. He didn't want to be a present down.
Yeah.
Look at his face! So buy her a nice necklace. Don't spend, just spend £100, just a little token.
We're going away. We're going taking her away on holiday.
They're not taking her away, are you? What, you're paying for it, are you?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Well, half and half and that.
Right.
So you're paying for you to go on holiday? That's good of you. So the gift is your company, really?
She's done alright.
She's done alright!
Why do you talk like you're 60 years old? And you've been working down the mines.
I love that she's done alright. Do you go over to her and say, Suzanne, you're bloody lucky.
I mean,
You've fallen on your feet.
to
Look
be
who
fair,
you've
Rick,
got. What?
I'm not sure she has done alright. I don't want to be critical, but...
Oh dear.
So what are you going to get in the sales?
What are you going to get
Oh,
her?
it depends. I'm thinking... I mean, I'll give her the choice. You can have Kingsley and or Bob Marley. Right, I'll let her decide there.
Oh dear.
I
I can't wait to see you. Where are you going, Lanzarote?
yeah,
Where's that?
don't know. Suzanne sorted it out.
I said, Lanzarote. I said, is that Africa or is it Spain or Portugal? Just thought you don't know. I went, what do you mean don't know? I goes, well, what's the currency? I went, don't know. I said, Suzanne booked this one, did she?
Yeah.
I thought, where is it? Is Lanzarote African or?
Foreign. Somewhere foreign.
I was looking last night, and doesn't look that good. There was like one of the highlights of the things it says you've got to do is go and have. Apparently they've got restaurants in caves, and that's like one of the things they say you must do. So, if that's a highlight, do you know what I mean?
Right.
So we'll do that. Go and see what that's like.
Yeah.
When you're on the beach, Carl, do you wear the very, very tight Speedos?
No,
Do you walk
What do
around
you
with
Sort of longish shorts,
Yeah.
t-shirt on, probably with a sort of a light shirt on top of that.
Right, sure.
So quite wrapped up then.
Covered up. Do you wear a hat? Because obviously the bald head, there's risk of sunburn.
No, I just put a bit of lotion on it.
Lotion on there.
Yeah.
Just have a bit of a wander down the beach, have a look.
Yeah.
See if there's any old blokes with their tackle out and a backpack.
A lot to look forward to. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to finding out how you get on.
Yeah, I'll let you
And
know.
interested to know what she gives you on Christmas Day.
Probably get
More
anything.
scintillating chat after this next song.
Right, bit of placebo,
Yeah, love it.
special needs.
3 holidays Carl's had this year, last year.
Yeah.
I'd love to have 3 holidays. You've got to start putting the work
I
in
had
there.
2 holidays
No,
there.
you had 3 holidays. You went away with Suzanne and her parents.
Yeah, well that doesn't count.
It does count. If you book 2 weeks off the firm, you go away and you go, how was your holiday? Go, well, I didn't really count. It wasn't a really good holiday. Can I have them days back, please? My New Year's resolution is to be nicer to you, but
Well
talk
done,
sense.
you've already broken that.
No, but talk sense. Talk sense. You've had 3 holidays this year, and I'm just saying, you're in your 30s now, and 30s is when you should be really putting the work in.
That's true enough.
To reap the benefits in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 100.
Carl, what's your New Year resolution? What about think before you speak? It's worth. I mean,
See, I'm
consider it.
allowed to laugh. I'm allowed to laugh at things other people say, Carl. That one, that is a good suggestion. How was your holiday, Carl?
It was alright.
Right, brilliant.
But that I don't see on the kind of on the ratio of good to bad in Carl's mind. That might be amazing because we never
It might
hear
be
him
amazing,
sing the
mightn't
praises of
it?
anything.
I'll tell you what. Can we have a cracking little tune and then come back and hear about Carl's holiday?
I'd love to do that,
Let's
right.
keep it tight. Oh, you went to Lanzarote. People said don't go to Lanzarote. They told you it was Lanzarote. They told you were they right or
They
wrong?
were right, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bit ropey, yeah.
Is it why?
Just out there. If it wasn't for the volcano they had, they'd be knackered.
That's their big draw, is it?
That's it basically. That's all they've got going for them.
When you landed, was it really hot? Did you initially were you quite excited? You were thinking this is
It
okay.
was warm. It's we can't complain about the weather. The weather was all right.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's what I went for. But it'd be nice if there just was something else.
Yeah.
What did you do all day then? Did you read your ritual book?
No, I didn't read that. I read that book. Do you know the book that I bought? And all the chapters were messed up.
Oh yeah.
I bought a better version of that,
All right.
and I read that,
Excellent.
and then
Did it make more sense in order?
yeah, a lot easier to follow.
Yeah.
And then we went and had a look at the volcanoes and that. They've got 36 of them to look at.
How many did you look at before you realised that pretty much you've seen one volcano, you've seen them all?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Really? And then when you got to the 8th, you thought, now I know what this is going to be, Suzanne. This is going to be like a mountain with a hole in the top.
Yeah.
Really?
But it happened years ago as well. It's like, just keep a couple, fill the rest in, tidy it up.
Fill the rest in!
Yeah, no,
Well,
yeah.
getting some builders.
No, seriously though.
Okay.
4 million tons of concrete, please.
They're an absolute death trap.
Yeah, what? Yeah. What do you mean fill them in? Do you know what a volcano is?
Just a hole, isn't it? That's happened.
Well, it's more than the
happened back
hole. It's
in-
more a portal to the magma in the centre of the earth.
Back in 1730 it happened, and they still haven't sorted it out.
Well, when you say it happened, volcanoes were made a lot longer ago than
No,
1730.
but the one that did Lanzarote in.
Right.
Sort it out.
What would you suggest? How
tidy
can
it
they
up.
fill it in? It's joined. It's all joined.
No, but what I'm
and
saying
the,
is, it was
the
a-
big
it was-
plates of the earth are all joined.
It
All
was
the
a disaster,
magma's
wasn't it?
joined.
With the trade centre thing, that happened. They cleaned it up, sorted it out, they've moved on. That's what I'm saying. Whereas Lanzarote have just gone, leave it. It happened back in 1730.
You misunderstand me. How, in the name of God, can you fill in a volcano? You ignorant twit.
No, but it's not just the holes. They've actually left the lava everywhere. That's what I mean. It's not just the big holes. There's lava everywhere.
But it's molten rock. They can't just pick it up like they're like a carpet.
Put it in the holes. The holes are there ready. Just push it all in. That's what I'm saying.
What exactly is there then? Is it just a kind of moon-like kind of surround with just kind of dust and rocks?
That's exactly. You see, I was there when the Mars thing went wrong.
Yeah.
I would have just sent a camera crew there, filmed a bit of that, right, and say, here we are, this is it. Ignore the little coffee shop in the background, right? This is Mars, because that's what it's like, just loads of dust, holes everywhere. Tidy it up.
Little round-headed aliens complaining. It's just like Mars.
Yeah.
So, is there what's the best bit about the holiday? Come on, pretend you're Judith Chalmers.
I have been doing. I would have done all that. I would have said that. Don't bother.
Right.
I mean, the hotel was good.
Yeah?
That was all right.
What was that like?
It's all right. Just, clean. That's all you want, isn't it?
See, that's not quite what Judith Chalmers does. She doesn't go, what's the hotel like? All right, yeah, clean, isn't it? All right. But what was it like? Was it, what was it? 3-star, 4-star? Did it have a swimming pool? What was the room like?
I had a swimming pool and that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good. I think it was one of the better ones on the island.
Okay.
Nightlife?
Wasn't really.
Bars?
Wasn't really. There was a bar. There was some bands playing.
Yeah.
Not very good. Food got a bit boring.
Yeah.
It was always the same food every night, but they sort of themed it and made out as if it was different. So, like, on Mexican night, it'd be chicken with a nacho on it.
Right.
And Chinese night, sort of chicken with a little prawn cracker on it and stuff.
Sure.
But that got a bit boring.
That's me just turning on my phone, because I want to read to you a text that I got from Carl. I think you sort of sum up the holiday in this text, don't you? Do you remember
I
it?
can't remember.
Let's have a look. Let's have a little look. Let's go
Instantly,
through
what
it.
did Suzanne, your girlfriend, make of it? Similar view to you? That they should fill in the holes?
Yeah, it's just that thing, you see, I went on a coach trip, right? And you go and see the volcanoes. Like I say, there's 36 of them.
Yeah.
Which, how many do you need? And when we're on the coach going round all these volcanoes, the fella on the front's going and looking at your left window at the moment, and there's a volcano. And if you quickly look out at the right-hand side there, there's another one.
Right.
And on the left, it's just like, all right, we've seen it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that trip, I mean, we'll talk about that trip in a bit.
Right, this is the text I got from Carl, right? Alright. Been up to a volcano. Been in some dead artist's house who built his house in the lava. They said they would show me science with volcanoes, but all they did was chuck some water in a hole and it shot up in the air. No dwarves in the canteen, no scousers here, but there is a Swede woman with a big head. She looks effing gormless with a cap on. Alright? So a little reference there to...
A Swede woman?
What's that mean? Do you mean Swedish?
Yeah.
Or she looked like a vegetable?
No, the Swedish woman. But they've all got sort of quite big built, aren't they?
And I sent him a text. Oh well, it's just good to be on holiday because I'm working. He sent back. So am I. Just been watching Sky News. There is a school for monkeys who want to get a band together.
Is that monkey news related?
Well, but out of 10, then what would you give it out of 10? All in all, food, location.
Right.
Relaxation, enjoyment.
Yeah, that's 6.
Okay, brilliant.
6, yeah.
Next week, where are you going next week? You're not on holiday next week?
Going
Cool.
away with Suzanne's mum and dad again.
5 holidays.
Gonna ropes
Play a
into that.
record. You've got to put some work in. You're in your 30s now. You've got to knuckle down.